My name is Troy Vixamore, and I help people of all background and experience level create passive income with faceless channels. Kevin O'Leary said, YouTube is the most powerful tool of the decade. He also said, I'm an incredible entrepreneur solving the hardest problem with YouTube, predictable growth. I started my first channel at the age of 16. I tried for 6 months growing channel with no result, and I quickly learned I wasn't alone. Out of my frustration and from being broke, I had no choice but to find a better strategy. My first channel that I blew up was 7 months into my journey. I started making $1,000 a month, 3,000, then 5,000, and from that point, I realized I cracked the code with faceless channels. Over the next year, I started more channels, getting to over 30,000 every month consistently. I knew I had something more powerful than I could ever even imagine. I helped everyone I knew implement the exact same strategy, and I built my reputation by being honest and over-delivering. I've been featured in US Reporter, New York Weekly, Business Chart Magazine, CEO Weekly, and many more. Over the year, I've helped over 400 people achieve time, location, and financial freedom with faceless channels. People believe YouTube success is difficult and time-consuming. Fortunately, that is not true. There is a formula. Even if you don't have a technical bone in your body, you can get results. And my mission is to share this formula with you. As we're gonna do today, this is gonna be the final day. So for the people that weren't able to do homework, if it was confusing for you, you guys can get with me during the Q&A, or make sure to at the same time, because one thing I did, for example, we have Moni here, which I give him a huge shout out yesterday, is if you post a homework on the school, even if I don't get to it on time, somebody else, I promise you, that have gotten it. Because if we have over 50 plus people here, there's somebody here, and most people have done the homework. If you have some sort of confusion, obviously there's over 50 people that can help you too, besides just myself. So whenever you do have issue when it comes to the homework, you can also post it on school too. So if you don't understand the homework, you can also post it, and I promise you, me and myself, another member in the community, will actually get with you. Now, today specifically, I'm talking about 5 different ways you can actually create 5 additional streams of income to your channel. The main way that a lot of people focus on, even me myself when I'm starting a channel, is getting the monetization through YouTube first. It's one of the easiest one. All you have to do is get certain requirement, and then views come in and get paid for the view. Very simple. But there's other structure that you can put in place to create additional stream of income. So for example, I remember, I think it was Cherie that asked a question yesterday, is a lot of time it's not about building 10 channels or having a lot of different channels, but from that one brand alone, once you build that channel, you can create multiple different stream of income from that channel to actually bring more revenue in, besides just counting on what YouTube is sending you on a monthly basis. Now, it's so important, like I said, today's gonna be the final day, that you guys take advantage of this opportunity that is in front of you. I remember back in 2019, 2020, early 2020, when COVID started to be on the rise. During 2020, I had some of my highest months because RPM went up. Obviously, most people are watching YouTube. And for the last 2 decades, the earning from YouTube has just been going up and going up and going up. So it's one of those business model for me, myself, have stayed consistent even before I got into the YouTube space. And as we go more further, as AI becoming obviously the next big thing, and it's making it a lot more easier for people to start channels and create content without them being involved in the process, I see it in the future within a year to 2 years when I become even more saturated. So, and as we said from day one, is for the first time ever, hundreds of people, counting even me myself when I first came to the state, the very first thing I told my parent is I wanted to get to watch cartoon, which is we had a cable television, and they had to go to DirecTV and subscribe to a plan so we can actually have it. And now these days, I have a little sister. All she watches either YouTube, Netflix, or even TikTok. So mostly every single person, even in places where cable television is mainly like a luxury of the first world country, places that don't have access to that, they have a phone, they have some sort of internet Wi-Fi or internet connection, they're able to connect to YouTube. And viewership over the year, even estimated for 2026, is growing continually when it comes to YouTube. And as I said from day one, YouTube is obviously the largest platform for video content, way bigger, obviously, than Netflix or any sort of other TikTok. And Google is the first for search. So Google is basically the first largest website, but Google on YouTube too at the same time. And people now spend over 1 billion hours every single day. And I know that counts as myself also. For example, I was on the plane and I was watching a couple podcasts while I was on the plane. So every single there's over 2 million active users on YouTube on a monthly basis. And every single day, there's over 1 billion hours that are being watched when it comes to YouTube video. And the reason we put this challenge on here is to help you guys to be able to cash in on that. And like I said, from starting with day one, all the way to leading us to day five, I was gonna say day four, all the way to day five, even if money is an obstacle, because I've met people that have money. And as Moni asked the other day, and we had the William, I remember your name, we had William yesterday. She started doing most of the work herself. So, well, money's not an obstacle because me, myself, I didn't have a lot of money when I started. Where time also, because obviously I always say you either have a lot of time or you either have a lot of resource, which can also mean the source of money. If you don't have neither of them, then obviously there's something wrong, something going on. And even time, we showed you guys how to automate the process so you don't have to do it. And even an ability. For example, we had Zach. He was one out of I forgot how many siblings. Uh, from what was it? Forgot which country in Africa. Moved to the UK. He was one out of forgot how many siblings. I wanted to remember, but he was one out of many siblings. He was the only sibling that didn't graduate from college, basically. And he was considered five siblings. He was considered the failure of his family. And he was able to build 3 channels. Actually, a couple of them is in the man dating space. That got him to, what was it about? Got him to, actually the first channel got him to over 200,000 on a yearly basis from the first channel. And like I've shown earlier, I have channel that I manage. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health expert. I'm not a dating expert. And you don't have to have a great ability as long as you know how to upload a video and being able to implement day one all the way to today as we're talking. And like I said from the very beginning, I did call this a challenge, but I also make sure that we made this very accessible to the average person. And not only in price, but also in capability and also in the implementation part. So some of the stuff that I had to learn in the beginning that were very complex, I did my best. Like I said, I have a 12-year-old sister. She went through the process. So I know if she was able to understand it and she's not like, gifted or anything like that, I know that every single person that I have here with me were able to actually understand every single thing that I teach. And lastly, confusion. And as I said, where there's confusion, there's failure, which is why I added the Q&A to at the same time instead of just running through it, just to make sure we all have an understanding. Obviously, no matter how old you are, as long as you know how to read and you can open up the app on YouTube, you can actually browse YouTube. And no matter how old you are to at the same time, I really believe you're able to do this. As long as you're still able to lift a finger and tap on the computer, and that's perfectly fine. And also fear shouldn't also be an obstacle, which there's a lot of businesses where it require a lot of, upfront capital, where people spend $100,000, whether it's into real estate to create that maybe passively 3,000-5,000 a month basis, depending on the property, where there's a lot of risk being involved. And I really believe, like I said from day one, this is one of those business model where if you are consistent with the right strategy, there's absolutely no reason you can fail unless you quit. And I've tried a lot of different business model. I haven't tried them all. Actually changed that. I've tried a lot of different online business model, and honestly, none of them beat YouTube. So using the system and process you guys have learned from the 5-day challenge, before I let you guys go today, I know that you guys can make this work for yourself. So now what I'm going to be talking about today, once you guys have the channel, you guys launch the channel, I want to discuss 5 different streams of income that you can add on to that one channel that you're going to be making overall. And according to a report from the IRS, the average millionaire have not one, not two, but 7 different sources of income. How many of you guys have heard that before on the chat? Because I feel like I personally been hearing that since I was like in my teen. So we have a couple people. Yeah, Warren Buffett actually said that. So multiple stream of income is no longer a luxury, but it's a necessity. And how many of you guys right now, your only source of income is your job on the chat? So if your only source of income is your job, you guys can put yes. All right, we have some no. That's awesome. Someone say even the Bible say that too. All right. So obviously Warren Buffett said it. Um, the most successful entrepreneur in business, the most successful entrepreneurs and businesses don't just rely in just one avenue. And does anybody know this company right here, Amazon? I personally have something that came from Amazon today. Right? Most every single person, if you live in America. When you look at a company like Amazon, for example, they have Amazon Prime. Obviously, it started number one selling books. That was like their only thing. And then they transition more to just a platform where Amazon, Jeff Bezos don't really create any product. He created a platform people who want to sell their product. And now it's not just a shopping center, but they created their own Netflix. So now they have Amazon Prime or Prime Video that they call it, where they're competing with Netflix. So now you can pay them, what is it, $9.99 or $14.99, however much it is per month. And you can watch a bunch of different shows and movies that they're putting there on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And not only that, they realize, okay, we can obviously they're building multiple different warehouses all over America, which make the shipping time a lot faster. But they're like, we can actually charge people on a monthly subscription just so they can get two-day shipping. I mean, they could do it anyway, but most companies weren't doing that. Usually what it used to be like is you order a product, it's usually 7 to 14 days. That was like the average for most company or most drop shipping. So now Amazon do it in 2 days or overnight shipping. And obviously, if you're a Prime member, you get that benefit. So now you have that subscription of millions of Americans that are a Prime member that they call it. And me, myself, I also get access to Prime Video because I'm a Prime member. So they create multiple different ways, and there's a lot of different avenues that Amazon have created for themselves also. Even storing, having a cloud where you can actually store. There's a lot of different avenues that they created from just that one company to create multiple different stream of income. Honestly, I mean, I don't see that happening, but if people stop shopping on Amazon, they have Amazon Prime or Prime Video, which is competing with Netflix. And how many of you guys right now have a iPhone, for example? I'm doing this right now from my MacBook. I'm using my MacBook camera. I'm not even having a mic. I just have my MacBook mic. My phone right now, I have an iPhone. I have the AirPod. So Apple does the exact same thing. It started, what was it? It was the iPod. That was one of their first creation. And then they went into the phone. They went into competing in the earphone also, headphone too at the same time. And not only that, they also created their own app store instead of just the Play Store. So they created a platform that people can create the apps on. And not only that, Apple is obviously a trillion-dollar company. They basically monetize almost every single thing. Even storage on your iPhone now, if you want more storage, you got to pay for it. Back then, it used to be you buy a SIM card or what's it called, a memory card at Walmart that have maybe a couple gigabyte and then you're good for life. But now even Google Photo 2, which used to be kind of free. But now iPhone, you have to pay that monthly fee or that yearly fee just to have your photo saved. Even to the point where you can't even put an SD card anymore. They don't even want you to do it. So you kind of have no choice. So almost everything, even if you download like a free app on the App Store, a lot of time you'll see that there's always an updated version where you can actually update to have a better version of the app. Even, for example, when we took vidIQ, it's free, but you can upgrade to get a better experience. So, which means that when you build a successful brand, in the case your Faceless channel, instead of just relying on the ad revenue, which is one avenue for any television network, radio station, that's their main source of income, but it's just one avenue. You can also create multiple stream of income from just that one channel. Now, I'm going to talk about 5 different streams. There's about 7 of them, but I'm going to go into 5 just to avoid the complication. The two modes it usually require a lot more work, so I'm going to use those, which are a little bit more easier to set up. Now, the first thing we're going to go over is what most people know is affiliate marketing. Does anybody here give me a yes or a no? Yes, if it's your first time about affiliate marketing, or no if you've never done affiliate marketing. Give me a yes or a no. All right, most of you guys. Before I started YouTube, one of the very first business models that I tested out was affiliate marketing. It didn't really work out too well because I couldn't really get traffic to get people to buy the product. Now, affiliate marketing is a simple process of referring somebody to buy a product and you get a commission for it. That's basically it. And Amazon have an affiliate program where you can send or create a custom link, which means if someone go and click that custom link and they buy that product on Amazon, you get that commission for it. And the good thing I like about Amazon affiliate is that if they go to Amazon and they didn't buy that specific product that you got the link for, let's say you put a link for, let's say you have a health channel, you put a link for a specific natural remedy that people can buy or some sort of a leaf or something like that to create a tea on Amazon. And let's say it costs 20 bucks for that product. And usually Amazon, they have a very low commission structure. Let's say the commission for that is 0.5% out of that $20. If the person go to Amazon and they don't buy it, but they still click on that link, and as most human, they ended up browsing Amazon. They just looking at different things, and they're like, "Huh, I did needed a new computer. Let me just buy it right now." And they end up buying a laptop that costs, let's say, $1,000 or something like that. And because they click on your link and that link have a 24-hour cookie, so anything they buy on Amazon after within that 24 hours that they click on your link, you get the commission from that. If they shop for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, however much that is, that's where the commission really add up. And Amazon is one of the easiest one to set up when it comes to the affiliate structure. And also ClickBank and DJ Store 24 also a very good one. Now, ClickBank, there's also JVZoo, but I'm just gonna put ClickBank on there. It's honestly fairly simple to set up to at the same time. Just create an account and they'll have hundreds of different digital product. So for example, if you have a channel that is about finance, you talking about how people can budget, how people can invest money, you can easily find a digital product on ClickBank, whether it's the product is about how to invest into the stock market, how to day trade, how to do certain things. You can promote that product and usually they have their commission structure. If it's a 10%, sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. If it's 10% and the product, it costs around, let's say it costs 1,500. So you get 154 whenever somebody buy it. Now, when it comes to affiliate marketing, I'm going to talk about some conversion rate overall. What I consider a good channel is getting some good momentum is at least getting 100,000 views on a monthly basis. And I tell people you only need 0.01% of the people to actually buy. So if your channel, for example, is getting 100,000 views on a monthly basis, we're going to do some very simple math. You're getting 100,000 views on a daily basis. What is 0.01% of that? On the chat, I'm going to avoid the calculator. So whoever get that answer first can put it in the chat for me. All right, I got one answer. I'm just going to wait for 2 to 3 because I want to confirm it's actually that number. So on the chat, anybody that's a math genius can give me the answer for that. Someone said 10. I want someone to confirm it. Someone said 10,000. Right, so I'm seeing 2 different things. All right, 10. Okay. So the answer is 10. The question was, what is 0.01% of 100,000? So I'm taking the answer on the chat. All right, now someone said 1,000. Let me pull up my calculator. Right, so we have 100,000 times 0.01. That's 1,000. Thank you. So we have 1,000 people. 1,000 people click that link out of 100,000. Very low conversion rate. 1,000 people click that link, and only 0 out of the 1,000, 0.01% actually bought. which is only 10 people. No, it's a little bit better, which is only 10 people that bought the product. That was a $1,500 product. And you get a 10% commission. So that's $150. So 10 times $150, that's basically an extra 1,500 that is added without you having to create the product, with just you putting a link on your video. And sometimes what I do, I'll tell my voiceover or my scriptwriter will put a call to action. Now, the most effective way I tell people to do this is you want to find that one product that relate to your niche in general, so that you can put it on your default upload and it's just in every single video. So you find that one good product that relates to the people within your niche, and you just put in the default upload, and you can have your scriptwriter add the call to action, whether in the middle of the video or somewhere in between the video. So the more people hear something, the more likely they're going to click on it to actually check it out. Now, on the chat, let me know if that makes sense. Give me a yeah or a nay. All right, clear. Awesome. Awesome. Now, the second thing is, this is one of my favorite, is creating a digital product. Now, I tell people to do this in the form of an ebook. It's one of the fastest and simplest ones to actually create. And for almost every single niche, you can create an ebook about whatever topic. So I'm going to take a very specific niche that's going to come to mind. Let's say you have a channel on architecture, for example. You can create an ebook, whether it's about, usually ebook have to be somewhat educational at the same time, which is why most people buy it, that relate to the audience. What you can do once you go to the subscriber base, you can always add in the community section of a channel, you can always ask the community a question saying, hey guys, I want to create an ebook. What would you guys want to actually see? What would you guys like me to cover? But usually, for let's say we have an architecture channel, the idea that I have in mind right now is I can create an ebook. It could be around 20 pages on the biography of the top 10 most famous architecture, or breaking down. I'm gonna find out who's the top biggest architecture, but breaking down the most famous structure of such and such and such and such. And usually for most ebook, and for certain niches are more lucrative than other. For example, if you're in a finance, if you're in a health niche, these niches people usually buy more. An ebook has to be anywhere from 7 to 97. Anything more expensive than that, it's usually you're not gonna get too many sales. From 7 to 97, especially ebook, most people won't buy something, especially a book for more than $97. Now, when creating the ebook, what I basically do is, like I said, you don't have to be somebody who is an expert at writing. What I do is I go to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna have ChatGPT, usually I like to make it in order, maybe one page first and second page. I'm gonna have ChatGPT write me a 20-page book on whatever topic, and it will generate that to ChatGPT. And what I would recommend that you do, if you know the niche, is proofread it, actually read it, make sure the information is accurate, make sure that's actually worth selling. Or if you're within a niche where you don't have too much understanding of, I would hire an expert on Fiverr just to proofread it for me. It won't be expensive just for somebody to read a book and give them their recommendation. Probably won't cost you more than 20, 25 bucks to actually just have somebody proofread the book for you. Now, once you have the whole script of the book, what do you call it? The manuscript of the book, you paste it, put it into a Google Doc. What I tell people is you're not gonna just sell that PDF. I usually go to Fiverr and I find a book designer. I'm gonna give that book designer the Google Doc or the note that have the whole manuscript, and I'll have them create that digital book for me. They'll create a cover, they'll add pictures, make it more nicer, add chapter 1, chapter 2, add some graphic, just to make it seem a lot more nicer and neater. And this won't cost you a lot of money. For example, let me actually type ebook designer. Same format. I always want to make sure I find someone either in India, Pakistan, Philippines, Bangladesh, basically overseas. Because if you're gonna find somebody, for example, that is in the state like this one, they're gonna charge you a lot of money to just, do that editing for you. But if you get somebody that is overseas, for example, we have this lady, Dawn Black. up to 75 pages, high quality ebook design. And she's located in Turkey. So she will help you design the book, add, the font, the text and things like that, make it very nice. And then usually they'll send you like the PDF version of the book because all an ebook is just a PDF that people are basically buying. Now, there's a structure to actually selling a book overall. Now, when I'm actually selling a book, what I basically do is you have the PDF version of the book, to go back, you have the PDF version of the book, and I usually use a website called ClickFunnels. How many of you guys have heard of ClickFunnels before? On the chat, give me a yes or a no. Right, yes. So I'm recommending ClickFunnels.com. The only reason is they have pre-built website already, and specifically they have book funnel. So a funnel is basically a website, basically. So when you create an account with ClickFunnels, they have a 14-day free trial, remember, and I think it's gonna be about $97 a month. But you probably need to sell if your book is $7, only 10. Now, I highly recommend you do this once you start getting some momentum on your channel, because this is gonna pay for the ClickFunnels subscription. Now, when you log into ClickFunnels, it's gonna log you in, it's gonna say, what do you want to create? And you're gonna select the category for book funnel. It's gonna have pre-built website for a book, and all you add is your book picture instead of the other one. Remember how yesterday we were using Canva? That's how simple it is to use ClickFunnels. It's honestly fairly simple. And then you create the site, and obviously ClickFunnels will allow you to connect your Stripe account. You create a Stripe account. Stripe will be used for payment processing. So when people are paying $7 or paying $17, Stripe is gonna process that payment, and your Stripe account will connect to your bank account, and it will go to your bank account. So now basically, they click on that link that you're gonna get from ClickFunnels, and you're gonna put it on every single video that is being uploaded. And you can also have a call to action on every single video. ClickFunnels, by the way, somebody asked. You put that in every single video. We only need the worst conversion in the world, which is, what was it, 10 people every single month. If the lowest, you have 10 people, and you have a very cheap book, it's $7 to actually buy it, times 10, that's $70 that you just made this month. Without you only, it only costs you just probably a whole day to set aside and to actually do this. All right, awesome. Somebody put in the chat for me to actually do this. So this, you only do it once and you set it aside. Similar to the second one, which is affiliate marketing. Now, the third one, which is yesterday, I had you guys, obviously you create an email for your brand, and that email is going to be on the description section of your channel. Naturally, once your channel start getting a lot of momentum, I see this come a lot more easier when your channel surpasses 100,000 subscribers. You're going to have people reaching out to your email, wanting to give you money so that you can promote their stuff on your video. When you have an audience, people are willing to pay you just to promote their stuff. Now, keep in mind, you're getting paid from YouTube in the first place because advertisers are paying YouTube to put their ad on your video. A lot of company, what they do, they go directly to the channel owners and email them themselves, and they're asked to get a quote from you to pay you to either promote their product on your video or to put their link on your description. Usually they'll give you the instruction. And what they're gonna ask you a lot of time is, what is your pricing? And sometimes some people will tell you how much they want you to pay. Now, for certain niches, this is a lot more lucrative. For example, I own a couple crypto channels. We get this about every single day. Now, some are legit and some are not, which is why whenever somebody reach out to you where they say, hey, let's say, for example, you have a travel channel, they're like, hey, I want to promote this travel website that we're creating or this travel product that we have. Can you do it? And what is your pricing? Well, usually what I like to do is I always like to confirm the product. So you want to test the product just to make sure it's actually a legit product. So either if it's a physical product they're selling, I would recommend that they ship me or send me a copy of that just so I can actually see it. Or if it's a digital product that they're selling, I want access to it just so I can actually review it. Long term is you don't really want to promote anything on your channel. I know you won't have your face on there, you won't have your identity, but you don't want to promote anything that's gonna come back and basically hurt the reputation of the channel overall. Similar way where we have stores or companies, like even luxury store like Louis Vuitton, or even, what is it called, Balenciaga, where they have massive people that were talking about whatever that they're doing in the back end over there. So you don't really want to do anything that's going to come back and bite the brand. So when you get sponsorship, one of the questions that a lot of people ask me is, how much should I charge them? Now, once your channel start performing, you're gonna have an average RPM for the channel, basically how much YouTube is paying you per thousands of views. So the logical way of charging somebody for that is, if your channel is getting 100,000 views on a monthly basis, and they want to promote something in just one video, 100,000, just 100,000 and 100,000, which is times 6, so that's your RPM. That's $600. So your pricing for you to put their video or to promote their product, whether it's on the channel description or not the video description, or whether it's on the video itself, they want you to add into the script so your voiceover can mention it, give them a shout out, or whether it's on the community tab on the channel, which is basically YouTube added this tab where you can make posts, so you can make picture posts on YouTube to your audience, whichever one that it is. That's the market price of how much you should be charging them, which is 600. So you take your RPM, and based on how many of you average on a monthly basis, that's the price that you should be charging them. Now, I have some people, sometimes they charge more. It's up to you, especially if you're working with a bigger company. Sometimes they have a lot bigger budget. For example, I have a channel where we do men dating content, and we got a deal with Manscaped. I'm not sure, I personally use it myself too. So it's basically a lawn mowing company that guys use to groom their private area. And we obviously have a huge demographic of men that watch our content. So these will automatically come to you. You won't have to look for them. There's a website, and YouTube also added a feature recently where they're connecting sponsorship with a brand creator. And there's a website we can look for them, but I personally don't. They just manually just come to me. Now, my favorite one is what I call a membership site. Similar to how you have Netflix, you have Amazon, you even have Apple, the smartest company realized it's not just about getting a one-time payment or just creating a product where people pay you once, but having that guaranteed recurring income. And that's in the form of a membership site. I'm going to tell you guys how we actually do this with Faceless channel. Now, quite honestly, with certain niches, it will be a lot harder to do, but with certain niches, it's going to be a lot easier. If your channel is more lean toward education more than just entertainment, it's going to be a lot easier for you to actually do this. For example, we had a finance channel. I personally myself, I'm not a credit expert. I cannot advise anybody on credit. I'm not a credit expert at all. I have a friend of mine that run a credit company. What we basically did is we created a school. You guys see, you guys have access to school right now. We created a school. It's all faceless. I'm not the one teaching credit at all. We created a school, and we had our editors, our team made the video for us. We created a credit course. Now that credit course, it's a monthly subscription where people only pay $17 a month. They only have to pay $7 a month, and they get a whole lesson on how they can repair their credit and how they can get business funding if they want to actually invest into any sort of future investment or any sort. And on that specific school, my friend went there live every single month. Now, I'm not an expert, but I just have the channel that provide the audience, and I just pay him 20% of the recurring revenue that I bring in for managing the community, responding to people, and at the same time going live. And I just use somebody else's experience and have them actually run that membership site. And if you actually deliver a very good product, a lot of people will pay for it. And how many of you guys, and be quite honest, because I'm one of those people, you have some sort of thing right now, or you always notice some sort of charge in your bank account where you subscribe to something, but you completely forgot about it and you never used it at all? Is that just me? Some people say a lot. And I promise there's gonna be people that subscribe to it. They'll probably watch a couple of videos. Someone say Planet Fitness. That's actually true. The gym is one of the biggest ones. So, and that's actually it's funny that somebody actually said that, because a lot of gym, most of their subscription, a lot of people don't even go to the gym. It's very cheap. It might be $7 a month or $10 a month. But when you have 100 people or 1,000 people, and when you have a franchise paying that much, they don't even show up. It really add up to a big number. So the thing about the membership side is, once you start getting a huge amount of traffic every single month. You're gonna have people going in and out of school. Now with school specifically, if you go to school.com, you guys already logged into my school, which is completely free for the challenge. You can also charge for it. So for example, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the school and I'm gonna go to the challenge school. Now, as you guys can see, we have pricing. Right now it's free. I can add a price. If I send you guys a school link, it just say to create your username and login app to approve it, that's all. But now I can actually make it $7 a month. Another case, what is 7 times 12? That's 7 times 12. What is that? 60 something? 84. All right. Thank you. 84. Now, let's give them let's make it instead of 84, let's do it 79. So get a 6% discount. 72, this is nothing new. Like the gym always do this. Everything that have subscription, they always do this. They're like, you can pay $7 a month now, or you can just pay us for the whole year, and it will be a 6 or 10% discount. Exact same thing. So school give you that access, and to create a school community is one of the simplest thing. You go to school.com, you can create a community. You don't have to pay at all. Now, let me say this. My apology. School is $99 every single month, so 100. So you only need, if it's $7 a month, which I highly recommend you at least make it at least $17 for me. You only need about 4 or 5 people to join to pay for the whole membership itself. And school have an option where you can connect your bank account. It's fairly simple. It's not a complex process to be able to do. And you only have a short course that people can go through, and you don't have to show your face. Your team can make that course. So if you have a health channel, like the other day somebody talked about natural remedy. I'm not into natural remedy, but every one of us here can probably agree that every information that we need for health, whether it's true or not, you can find it with a Google search or even ChatGPT. So if you channel talking about natural remedy, for example, I can probably study a couple, what's his name, Dr. Survey book, or just watch a couple of his video, or have somebody else do it for me and do the research, and I can create a whole course on how to eat clean, how to have a proper nutrition, what to eat, what not to eat. And that could be the whole course itself. And then people pay $7 every single month. Now, the reason to keep people in longer, there always have to be something new coming out. So I always tell people, if you can come up with something new, or at least partner with someone that knows the space, and you can pay them a certain percentage. So whether it's 20%, hey, you can manage the community, answer the people, because I know you're an expert within the space. If by any chance you find a good writer that speak English pretty well, you can also have them manage a community and just pay them 20% of whatever is bringing the recurring, or 10% if you don't want to go too big. If they're really good, I would give them 20%, which would be a lot more. So they can manage a community. And if they can also go live, which is a powerful thing, when people know they can actually speak to whoever own it, or you can go live with them, it keep a lot of people coming back. A lot of people might not show up in the live, but it keep a lot of people coming back. And I promise there's going to be a lot of people that subscribe to it, and they completely forgot that they did. And it's not till a year later, or even years later, adding S to it, that they actually remember. Me, myself, I pay for Netflix, and I'll be quite honest, I probably watch Netflix once every month or once every 2 months. Why do I pay for it? I don't know. It's $7 or 10 or 14. Honestly, they could raise the price for me, I probably would not even notice, because it's not that big of a deal for me. And most of you guys here probably have Netflix or Prime Video or Amazon Prime, because I got Amazon Prime because I wanted my stuff right away. But here and there I'll order on Amazon, but sometimes I'll go a couple of weeks without ordering nothing. But I don't cancel a subscription because I feel like I might come back in the future and use it. So I just keep it. So I'm just giving Jeff Bezos that $14.99 or however much that is on a monthly basis on recurring. And I'm just one out of, somebody can Google it for me. I forgot how many millions of Americans have Amazon Prime. You guys would see how many billion that add up to from just that one avenue. Now, and this is one of my favorite, like I mentioned before, out of all the other. Obviously, you're creating another form of digital product, but it's more of a recurring subscription where you can have money coming in. And if this is done right, this will bring you way more money than YouTube will pay you on a monthly basis. And with school also, they pay you out on a weekly basis. So however They pay you out on a weekly basis. So when someone is subscribing a certain time, they're paying you out basically whatever is charged that person on a weekly basis, basically. Now, and just a quick example, for example, I'm gonna go to school again. I want to show you guys something. On school, this is my dashboard. I can create a new course. It's like fairly simple to use. Let me name it test. I'm gonna make it unlisted, just so it's not public. Actually, I'll make it public. Actually, I'll keep it unlisted. And even a specific course, you can sell it. Let's make this 47. Let's call it VIP. And we just add it on here. So now when someone are within the program, when they click on this, now it's gonna just let me log in because I'm the admin, but it's gonna ask them for 47. When we started doing the challenge, we did not have the recording. Obviously, I didn't want people sharing it to all over the world unless they didn't pay for the challenge. But then I added the VIP section, and now once you guys probably upgrade to the VIP, what did you have to pay? You had to pay 47. And that goes into the background of school. I'm not even sure how many people bought the VIP, to be honest, but that goes into the background of school overall. So it's honestly that simple. And this school took me 10 minutes to actually build up. And obviously the course is like live. And to build and add like the section, the module, it literally took me about 10 minutes to actually do. So it's fairly one of the easiest things to actually build out. And that's why I like school. And that's why I recommend it, because it's fairly simple to be able to do. Now, the next one that I want to add on, we talked about affiliate marketing. We cover digital product in the form of an ebook. We also covered sponsorship, which that one will come to you, so you don't have to do anything. And we've covered membership site. Out of all of those, the first two are very easy to set up. Membership site obviously would probably take you, if you honestly, if you commit like one day, you can probably build every single thing from A to Z. Now maybe creating the module might take you some time to get the videos. And also with the membership side, I can also say this too at the same time. I haven't tested this myself. This is an idea that I had. It's all on the testing. If you don't want to do video, you can actually sell information or words. People buy words. Instead of like the ebook, you can probably have different modules on this classroom when people click on it, is different tea to help with certain sickness. For example, you can create a program for people that have diabetes. I have a health channel, and most of our audience are people over 50 plus. And I know most of them, what I've identified is what is the common health issue that most people over 50 plus struggle with, especially American, obviously, because we're eating so many processed food. And diabetes is one of the biggest one. You can create, we're using ChatGPT, do some dig research, or have the doctor that is writing your script for you create a program that talks about how to structure your diet if you have diabetes, what to avoid, what to not avoid, what your routine should look like. Maybe you shouldn't eat at a specific time. Maybe you should avoid this at all time, or maybe you can eat this at a certain time of the week. And possibly you can go live once a month or have that person go live once a month. They're willing to do it. And usually if they're willing to do that, I want to give them a percentage. Once a month or once a week, just when people have any question, or just in the community, they can ask question in the community and that person answer it for you. Now, the very next one, and also in the chat, guys, give me a clear if that makes sense, if that is clear. Give me a clear if that makes sense. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Clearish. Now, the next thing is going to be physical product. Now, especially in the time that we're living in, I'm not really a big fan of physical product. I'm not a fan of, having the product or like a lot of drop shipper. I have a friend of mine, he makes over 7-figure with Shopify, and he have a warehouse that he pay over like $7,000 a month for. And he have about a team of 20 people that work for him at the warehouse. I'm not a big fan of having too big of a team and managing too many people and, receiving package here, putting label all over this and shipping it there. And sometimes when people return the product, you dealing with like a customer service. I'm not a big fan of doing that. Now, I put physical product on there only because I realize we run a health channel and we create our own supplement brand. And believe it or not, I never had to ship the supplement myself. I personally myself, I've obviously looked into the supplement, make sure it was legit, of course, but I don't make the supplement. And there's another company that does the work A to Z from me. People just order it and I get paid a certain portion for it. And they have my brand, my channel brand on that supplement. So I recommend if somebody want to do physical product, for certain niches, it's gonna be quite honestly impossible for you to find one. But if you have like for example, health is a very good one. Most niches that can have like a digital, where you can have a digital, not a digital, but a physical product. For example, that can be in the form of a t-shirt too at the same time. Most of you guys know Teespring, but I'm gonna run you guys through the example that I personally did. So Teespring is very simple, easy to do. Now, there's a website that is called Rock to Me. I'm not sure if anybody ever heard of this, but with this website, let me refresh it. All right. All right. So forgive me, guys. The internet is a little bit sloppy. It's not loading up the whole website completely. Let me just copy it. Delete this. All right. Let me open into incognito tab. Maybe that would work. So now basically what this website allowed me to be able to do, I'm not sure why it's not loading. Okay, we're probably gonna have to do it just like that. Now, if you guys do it from your end, it would probably, I'm not sure why it's showing like that from my end. All right, awesome. There it is. Now, what Rocktomic, for example, allow you to do, it's basically a white label website. Most of you guys are familiar with who Mr. Beast is, right? On the chat, give me a yes or a no if you know who Mr. Beast is. Okay, for the no. How many of you guys heard of his Beast Burger? He created a franchise called Beast Burger. So Mr. Beast basically is a YouTuber. He make random vid on YouTube, doing some of the most extreme stuff. Probably shooting a gun at a yacht, seeing if the yacht survive it. Putting a Lamborghini in a racetrack, see if the Lamborghini survive. Stranded in the island, see how long they can go on the island for. So basically, entertainment content overall. Now, he created a company called Beast Burger. So basically like their own McDonald's. And they sold over 50 mil. I forgot what was it, like 50 mil worth of burger within like the first month of launching it. Because obviously you have a massive audience. So people like went onto it. They wanted to try it. Now, in my area back in Miami, on DoorDash, if you go to DoorDash, you can see Beast Burger. So you can actually order a burger. Now, I remember when I first saw this, I went on Google Map and I typed Beast Burger. There's none of them in Miami. So he only have about, I think it's one physical location. And in certain area around the United States, you can actually order on DoorDash. So what he's basically doing is, which is, I didn't realize it was a thing, but there's white label restaurant. What that basically means, because a lot of stuff are going digital now, you can create a restaurant, your own branding restaurant, which is Beast Burger, for example, and you can pay another restaurant in the area that's like a mom and dad, another burger person in the area. So when people order on DoorDash, they're gonna do the burger, so it's gonna be their burger basically, and they put your wrapping on that burger. So it have that beast wrapping on the burger. Or it have, let's say, for example, I have a brand called Freud. They have Freud on the wrapping in the bag. But I didn't have to create the restaurant. Well, he didn't create the restaurant. He didn't have to worry about the fulfillment. And obviously, that restaurant get a percentage of that sale. So now you're selling your own branded food, have your own McDonald's, but you don't need the physical location, which is a thing now. So with the exact same thing, which is what white labeling is, it's basically putting your label on somebody else's product and people think it's yours, which is what a lot of people that does online store actually do. With Rocktomic, they have hundreds of different supplements for different needs. All that you have to do is you slap your logo in here. So remember the brand we created yesterday? We take that logo. Now suddenly we have a health channel, natural remedy. We're selling our own supplement, depending on what type of supplement that you wanna sell. Let's say you want to sell a supplement on immune boosting. So people want to boost their immune. And I used to take a lot of supplements, to be quite honest. I just stopped. But how many of you guys actually take daily supplement on the chat? All right, so we have some people. So I used to be the person every single month I'm going to the store and refilling my supplement. So there's whey protein that you can just slap if you have a health channel where you're talking about exercise or more toward weight loss and things like that. You have woman multivitamin. You have biotin. You even have, for example, we have a health channel. We had a video that went viral that was talking about more toward men health. So once guys get to a certain age, we talk about natural ways that they can actually help with that. And you can literally sell supplement that you don't even have to create. Obviously, one thing I do recommend people do, especially in the health niche, you do your research on the supplement just to make sure it's actually healthy for the most part, and it actually go along with your brand. So that's gonna be your own due diligence, basically. Which is why, obviously, somebody asked me the question yesterday, if you have any sort of even news channel, health, anything where you telling people or finance to do something, I always put in the description of my channel, this is for entertainment purpose only. So if we give you any sort of health advice, of course, take it, advise your doctor and things like that. So that way it doesn't come back and bite you. So basically, with RockTeam, you can sign up. You can add your logo. For example, if you have a health channel, you add your branding to it. They cover the fulfillment, cover the site and everything like that. And people just have to go to your link and they buy your product. Now, not only you're building a channel, you're building like a brand specifically, but you have your own branded product. Now, the simplest, the beginner standpoint that a lot of people know is Teespring can be connected to YouTube, which you guys probably seen with a lot of YouTubers, is you can sell t-shirt with Teespring, for example. So you can add your channel logo, you can do some fancy design if you're a great designer, and Teespring will take a percentage, and they go to Teespring and buy the website. You can create your own website, make it neat, and you can sell hats and things like that. You don't have to make the hats. You don't have to have it in a warehouse. So that's the simplistic part, but those are usually cheaper product, but supplement, they can be a lot more. Could be like about $100, $80. I used to pay $80, $90, $100 plus for just one bottle of supplement. Now, there's one thing I didn't add on to it, but you can also create membership through YouTube. Now, these membership, for example, people can pay $4.99. It can be, I don't think it go up more than $99 every $9.99. It might be a little bit higher, but you can create them very cheaply. And when you create those, these are when you try to get monetized. Also, you need to reach the requirement. When you create these, for example, if I choose to pay Mr. Beast, let's say $9.99 every single month, I'm going to cancel. All that I get is I get a badge next to my name whenever I comment on his channel. You can create stupid stuff like that. You're gonna have people that really like your channel, that subscribe, that like all your video, especially if you're making sure you're providing good content. And they'll pay just $4.99 just to have a badge next to their name when they comment. So people can know that they're royalty subscribers, which is what they call them. Now, there's a bunch of other ways I've seen that people have done. I've seen students go to the link where they create a PayPal, have a PayPal link, and they'll tell people in their videos, hey guys, we do a lot to provide this video for free for you guys. So to support the channel, you guys can donate in the PayPal link. And some people actually make money every single month from that. Because you're gonna have people that like your content and watch your content. There's people that watch Mr. Beast, that love Mr. Beast. If Mr. Beast said he's raising a charity, he'll make 20 mil. He'll make 30 mil that specific month for that specific week. Because people just love the channel. And which is why every single channel that I build it to build a connection with the audience, because I know when you build a connection with the audience, it's going to be a lot more easier to monetize it in the back end instead of just waiting for YouTube monthly check on every single month. Yes, it's cool to make 5,000 every single month, but you can be making a lot more in the back end by owning your own product, by having your own subscription, by creating your own form of ebook, by having maybe your own merch, whether it's a hat, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a mug that people can actually buy. For example, if you have a soccer channel, you can white label soccer ball and put your branding on it instead of having Cristiano Ronaldo face and his logo all over the soccer ball. You can have your channel brand on there. So on the chat, let me know if that's making sense also. Someone obviously said also Patreon is also a good one. I've seen people actually create an OnlyFans account because OnlyFans can put any type of content on there, and they just add the OnlyFans link. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So we covered affiliate marketing, digital product, we got brand deal, we got membership site, and I put the pricing also at the same time. And lastly, we have physical product. Only way I would do this, and for certain people, certain niches might be a lot harder, is by white labeling. That's the only way. I don't like dealing with customer service and all that type of stuff. So I don't want to have the product coming to my house and have a bunch of boxes. By white labeling, that's the only way that I would recommend, at least that's scalable at scale, to be able to sell physical product. Now, I want you guys to know this, and even taking the Mr. Beast example, if any of you guys study Mr. Beast, because I've watched all of his interviews, you see that he have multiple of these. The only one I haven't seen yet is well, he already have the membership. He have basically all of these going for him, all of them, even physical product. People buy T-shirt. I've seen people walking on the street that have Mr. Beast shirt on or a hat on, all of them. Any single person that is a smart businessman or that is running a brand, know that you cannot depend on one thing. People say, I remember when I saw even 4 years ago, people were saying, what if YouTube shut down tomorrow? What if Rumble take over? I'll just move the audience. If YouTube turn off the monetization, a lot of the channels, I'm mainly monetizing on the back end. And that's worst case scenario. So you want to create multiple different stream of income where one of them is just one of them. Like this is just one piece. This is just the extra 2,000 coming from that one right here. So that's why I tell a lot of people, instead of starting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 channels, I would create and monetize fully the brand in a bunch of different aspects, optimize all of them, and then you can move on to a second brand. And then you can move on to a third brand. And usually, to have all of them set up properly and optimized, usually it would take like a whole year to have all of them like set up if you want to actually maximize every single thing. Now, I want you guys to know that passive income, usually people like the idea, but it's the result of investing time, effort, and resources, and reaping the benefit in the form of recurring income stream. In order to have that passive revenue from this video, we have to produce a video. Now, most of you guys won't be doing the video yourself, but you have to put the resource, you have to invest into building a good team. You have to invest the time to build a good team to make sure you're producing quality content. So there's always some sort of work that has to be put upfront. Or if not work, you're going to put a lot of resources. And I want to leave you guys with some final word, because today I want to end it just a little bit earlier so I can get into the Q&A, is I always said the last couple of days is, if I can do it, then you guys can do it too. Now, I didn't go over my whole story from the beginning because I just wanted to go through. I came to the state in 2010 after the major earthquake that happened. I was around 9 years old at that time. Left Haiti. And one thing that was different than me, I wasn't, because a lot of people, come from more of a poor condition than I was, but I came from middle class, what people consider middle class in Haiti. My father had a business in the area. He basically had the Home Depot of the area in Haiti. And when the earthquake happened in 2010, he lost the business. Basically, what he was doing is getting product from Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, and bringing them back to Haiti. And he lost the business. And obviously, any single person that at least watch the news very often or understands the situation that have happened in 2010 is you have the government going downhill. You have people looting. You have people at the desperate. You have people at the worst and desperate state. And right now, basically, I believe the average earning, you guys can look it up, for the average individual in Haiti is less than about $1 US dollar a day on a daily basis. So in 2010, when the earthquake happened, what my parent decided to do, and my dad had a good job in Haiti. We used to travel back and forth to the state, but my dad never wanted me to actually stay in the state. And I'm saying this on this challenge is, when I came to the state with my father, He saw that after that earthquake, there was no hope, stuff was getting worse, and we came to the United States. And we had to start all over. All the saving my dad had went into immigration. We came to the state with a passport, and then it expired. And you guys know when you have a visa, you have to go back when it's about to expire. And we obviously couldn't go back because there was nothing to really go back to. So we basically overstayed. We're illegal in the country for a period amount of time. And usually when you're illegal, when you don't have a work permit, you have to do some sort of on the table work. And I've seen my dad and my mom started going usually early morning to either pick orange and do different things that they can do in different warehouses where they don't have to show any proof of documentary. And about a year later, we're able to get an immigration lawyer, at least move stuff, and we're able to get a work permit. And we started at I never like to say the word ghetto, but because when you see certain things, you come to another country, like the ghetto in the United States is actually considered somewhat of a higher end for the most part, believe it or not. And in 2017, around that range, I was getting prepared for college because I didn't have a scholarship. And obviously my dad and mom wanted me to go to school because as an immigrant, when you bring your kid to a country, the main reason my dad came is like, hey, I could have fixed everything in Haiti. I could have stayed in Haiti, but I know that I had you guys and you guys needed a future. And that's why I came to the state. There was more opportunity for you guys here. And in 2017, imagine me hating school. I remember even saying that to my parent, I would get whooping. Me hating school. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did not want to be a doctor. I did not want to be a lawyer. I did not want to be an engineer. I didn't know what to do. So it started first with looking at different careers that I can actually get into while spending less time in school. So I was always looking what job get paid the most without actually going to school. And this is why I came up with pilot because I know it was a very short time frame to get your license. And at the same time, they pay decent money and I can travel. And looking online, I started seeing different ads, obviously to make money online ads. You can do this, you can do Shopify. And I started looking into those different opportunity. And I think the main goal for every single person is obviously is freedom. We all want to make money because we want to have some sort of freedom. And we live in a world where without having at least a certain amount of fun, depending on what your lifestyle is it's very hard. And I didn't see any other path to go. And I know for a fact, one thing that I started noticing from my research is you have people that went to school I had a friend that went to school for architecture, and she came from school. She got married after college. She couldn't find a job in Florida. Then the job for the position that she was looking for was out of state, and she got married. She didn't want to go to Florida, and she ended up working at a warehouse in Amazon and spending $1,000 in school, going in debt because obviously she didn't have that in cash to put into school to ended up doing something else, which she didn't have to go to school to work at a warehouse in Amazon. She didn't have to get all that understanding or knowledge. And I basically did not want to get myself to that position. And I didn't realize this in the future, but I know that time is the most valuable thing that we couldn't get back. And that time, it was more of a hatred for school than actually worrying about the time and years and also the fun that I would have to put in. So I started doing Shopify. I started doing what they call social media marketing agency. I built different Instagram theme pages. I even did eBay dropshipping. So I would even get some of my stuff also at the same time and try to sell them for a higher profit. I would buy, for example, game console, and I would try to resell them at the same time for a higher profit. But all of these businesses, for the most part, Shopify. Once I started running my store, I built the store, I got a Shopify account, and I realized I had to learn Facebook ad. And in learning Facebook ad, I had to set 500 aside. And what I basically did, I had contributing with my mom help, and also a friend of mine that had a landscaping company working for him, save up $500, put it into the store, put it into Facebook ad, learn how to run ad. And I was selling jewelry. I was selling a Haitian necklace at the time. So I was talking like a Haitian audience. And I sold one jewelry after spending the whole ad budget, not understanding obviously uh, the ad account have to warm up, they have to optimize, and sometimes people will click. Sometimes what you think people would buy, they won't buy. So you have to test different product, you have to test different demographic, and it was just a whole skill set and learning those skill set. And I got to the point where I couldn't afford to actually spend money on ad anymore. So I wouldn't even say that I gave up. I just stopped because I just couldn't continue with it. And there was no other way for me to get, free traffic, people coming to my store. So I started a social media marketing agency where I would go to the doctors, chiropractors, dentists, even a real estate agent, and basically say, hey, if you pay me such a fee, I'll run your social media for you. I'll help you get leads. I'll help you get people to come to your dentist. I'll help you get people to come and help buy or sell their house with you. So at that time, I was in high school. I remember this is when I started a YouTube channel, and I told myself I'm gonna document the whole journey just in case when I make it, where people, whatever your idea is, I make it. Um, and the reason I started doing that is because I've seen people that were doing millions with Shopify. I've seen people that became millionaire with doing social media marketing agency. And I'm like, there's no way that I couldn't do that myself. So I created a channel just so I can document like the journey starting from scratch. And as Moni put up yesterday, like I had the picture of me working in my room when I started my first channel from scratch just so I can compare it to when I make it. And that was one of the things that kept me going is because I knew the desired outcome that I desire, and I always saw that was possible. And a lot of this business model is I just ran out of money with social media marketing agency. I got rejected so many times by different businesses because keep in mind I was skipping class most of the time to meet up with these doctors, chiropractor, going to the practice, saying, "Hey, can I speak with the owner?" And I had a very thick accent, and you have a kid with a book bag, looking like he's skipping school. And even the one that even gave me a meeting, it just didn't lead anywhere because they just saw me as a kid. And it wasn't until I actually got into affiliate marketing and I made my first $100 that specific day with affiliate marketing. And I remember because when I sold one necklace, I made about $21 and I made 100 a day. And I had a friend of mine, his name is Keda, and now I actually helped him build a couple channel. And he did a video on his channel because he had a YouTube channel where he just talk about finance. And I did a video with Keda, and he basically made it on me how I made $100 that specific day. And what ended up happening is, I'm like, this is basically it. The next day, the next week, I made $0 after that. $0. And I just didn't give up. I'm just like, okay, what's the next thing to try out? And it wasn't until I came across YouTube automation. And what I basically did is I did some research and I saw the people that were making money with faceless channel, which is what they call them, more YouTube channels. And it took me 6 months of me testing different channels, different niches, and especially during that time where compilation was a very monetizable thing, I was just copying and pasting different things on Instagram or on TikTok, putting them together and uploading them. I even did satisfying video. I did compilation, meme jokes, and all that type of stuff. And my idea was, let me put all these things together, and eventually one of them would work. And funny ideology. It wasn't strategic, but more just let me do as much as possible. And it's impossible for at least one thing to work. And 6 months down the line, I had a hair channel. Within the 6 months, I had a viral video. I got over 500,000 views. And I woke up the next day. I was checking my phone, notification of comments, 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 comments. And I went to the channel, got the requirement, applied for YouTube. That very next month, I got a $1,200 check that came to the mail. I went to Chase, took out the money, because I couldn't believe it was real. I took out the money and I put it back in just to actually see and make sure that was actually real. Because sometimes when you make what people call internet money, you see the digital, but it's unbelievable because you never put yourself or you never got into that achievement level before. And the next month I got to 3,200, and from there basically it was it was history. And from even helping some of my friends and family member to start their own channel to get it running overall, and to creating what I called, which is when I went to Chase and asked me what did I want to name my LLC, because once you start making certain money, you can't have a personal account. And Chase hold the fund in my account at about like 6 months after like my fifth cycle with YouTube getting paid. And they hold the payment. They're like, okay, why is Google, because obviously it shows that it's Google in your bank statement, why is Google sending you money? And as a kid, I was like, well, I'm technically a YouTuber, and that's not really a category when you're opening a bank account because they have, professional lawyers, real estate, and things like that. That's not really a category. And the lady at the bank told me, okay, your account is on froze. It seems like you're more with what they call like a contractor. So you need to create an LLC, create a business account, and then you can come back to Chase, and then we can actually move the money to that account. Because I didn't know at that time, there's stuff as taxes and things like that. I just thought you make money, you spend money. So I remember I went to Sunbiz that specific day. I created the company and I called it Faceless Freedom because I was like, this is freedom, which is desired outcome. And I was able to do this without having to do any call, without having to go out to meet different businesses, without having to put my identity out there. It was all faceless. And especially the channel had nothing to do with me at all. I'm somebody who's not really into watching natural hair content on YouTube. And I know that if I was able to do this, like I said before, which I'm not the smartest person in the world, I also won't call myself the dumbest person in the world because my mom would not like that. But I know that if I was able to do it, that almost any single person here that have the capability, that can write, that can read, that can go on YouTube and browse on YouTube, can do this themselves also. Now, this is the end of the final day, and I want to know that all of you guys, was this challenge worth, like I said from day one, is you guys can call me out too at the same time. Was this challenge worth the time that you guys actually put in within the last 5 days? So again, guys, big shout out to you guys. Congratulations for completing day 4. And it was honestly my pleasure to be here with you guys at the same time. And this was honestly a very good audience that I actually love a lot. And the biggest thing that I tell people is I want from a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even a year plus from now, is some of you guys reaching back to me, whether on Instagram, mainly on Instagram to be quite honest, saying, hey, Fred, I joined this channel at this specific time, and my channel is making such amount of money. I honestly love to hear when I spent 10 hours with you guys live. I love to hear the not just feedback, but also result being produced. It actually showed me that the 10 hours spent with you guys was well spent. There's nothing that made me more happier than somebody DMing me and saying, hey, Ford, this is my channel. I joined the channel at this specific time, and I just want to say thank you. And obviously, I don't get any revenue from the channel. I don't really want any of that, but just that alone let me know that the time that we spent here was well spent. So I challenge you guys to implement everything. And even if you don't reach out to me, which I would highly recommend you do, even if you could send me a screenshot of the testimonial saying, hey, Fred, I'm achieving this. And, I would love to hear that too at the same time. So congratulations, guys. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the Q&A. Now, somebody probably say, what is the final homework? The final homework for day 5 is basically putting every single thing together. Obviously, you guys start putting the job for the team to start building the team. You guys are going to start working on producing the videos. And in general, if there's one thing that I would say is consistency with the right strategy. Consistency with the right strategy with almost any single business model, it's almost impossible for you to fail in general. So congratulations, guys, for completing day 5. It was my pleasure. What we're going to do now, we're going to go to the Q&A. The VIP people that have their hand raised is going to go first, and then we'll take every single person else. So if you're a VIP member, I would highly recommend you turn on your camera. You put the VIP background so that way I can call you in first. You can get your question out of the way as I get the other member. So also, guys, since it's the final day, I ended just a little bit early so I can get some more time for Q&A. So once it's, I'm at the WeWork, so they close at 5, so it's like 4:37. I'll probably go just a little bit longer till they kick me out. So let's do one question at a time. If I have more time, then I'll go back if you have 2, 3, or 4 questions, or you can answer it on the school and I'll answer it on the school. So let's start first with Bob, and then Moni, you next.
Okay, thanks, Freud. I wanted to ask you about using YouTube Shorts and how does that influence your main channel? Like if you're using YouTube Shorts to just, gain, quick social media traction, does that come back to help your other channel? And so that how do you mix that into your mix of creating videos?
That's a very good question. So short right now, YouTube promotes short more than long form video because they're competing with TikTok, so they want to promote as much of it as possible. So
Mhm.
my ratio with all my channel is I have a 9 to 10 or 9 to 1. So every 10 video I get uploaded, at least one of them usually sometimes is a short. Now, the
Mhm.
only reason why you can make a channel but it have to be all about short is because if most of your video that go on the channel are shorts, what YouTube is gonna do, it's not gonna promote your long form video. And shorts are not really monetizable. So for example, a short, you might get 10 millions of views and you get paid maybe $100, which is honestly the case. So they don't put ad on every single short. It's after a couple of short people see an ad. So they don't really monetize your short, at least not of right now. So that's why I tell people I don't really focus on short too much, except for here and there I'll post a couple short. Here and there I'll post a couple short just to get some momentum, at least get some views flowing into the channel. But you don't want to overdo it to the point where YouTube is just promoting you short and you have a channel bringing millions of views on a monthly basis and you're only making like 300, 400, or 500 from it.
Great, thanks.
Awesome, my pleasure. All right, Moni, you're next.
All right, can you hear me for it?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's up, man? It's the last day, my boy. Man, we probably family now. You gotta invite me to Thanksgiving dinner, partner. I haven't had Haitian food, man. So I know about food, but I don't know about Haitian food. But
Yeah, you
anyways,
gotta try
man,
some Asian food.
yeah, real
Yeah,
talk. All right, man.
I promise you it's one of the best food in the Caribbean. I know some people might fight me over that, but I promise you it is.
Hey, well, my wife she's Thai, so I don't know. It may be a little equilibrium right there, but I don't know. But anyways, man, it's been a thrill. I'm glad the way how the group turned out the way how it did, and I'm glad that you was able to connect and everything. So hopefully this won't be the last time that you see this face right here, my boy. But anyways, yesterday I guess got done with my channel and everything. So I guess when you check out everybody's homework, just check mine out and everything. Probably overdid it with the tags and whatnot, but I just went to like Video IQ and I just kind of just put in any kind of tag that had to do with like luxury. My niche was like luxury cars and stuff like that. But usually when I'm working, I'm usually listening to a lot of music, and I'm a night owl. So like, if you saw me in a group, I'm literally in a group from 8:30 p.m. to like 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's just the way I am. I sleep during the day and I'm up during the night. That's the way I am. But I was listening to um, a, 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 a YouTube channel called Chill Music Lab, and I understand that we talked about like music and how copyrights and everything, and it's a very very touchy and sensitive subject when it comes to YouTube. I get that, but when I look at channels like Chill Music Lab, and there's more. For example, let's just see. Can you see this right quick?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I've seen them before.
Get my big head out the way, but yeah, so you can see the views there. I just don't understand like how they did it, or like if it's like um, not say copyright, maybe commercial free, maybe it's a music library. I think that's the kind of stuff that I would like to tap in down the road, because like man, they got like 1 million views on one song, and certain people making corny comments like I'm listening to this song and it's making me feel like I'm a part of the universe. So I don't know, but that's have you ever dabbled with that at all?
So the only way these are monetizable with music is unless you have, I've never tested unless you have somebody actually producing the song themselves,
Mm,
right? Producing the song and obviously selling you or just, giving you the right to the song that they're producing. Now, a lot of those music, those lo-fi channel, when you check on them, obviously a lot of them have been around for a good minute. If they are monetized, because there's this Chrome extension called YouTube Monetization Checker. So you can actually check if a channel is monetized.
yeah.
And sometimes a few of them are monetized.
Mm,
And these are the ones that actually have people producing song for them. And here and there, they probably upload once a week or maybe sometime every other week because they're actually making the song, having somebody that produces the song. Now, I don't know why it's not, the internet is very slow. All right, so this channel is not monetized. A lot of time, a lot of those channels, they get a lot of views. Like this one got about 27 million views in the last 30 days, but it's not
yeah.
monetized. So they're
Uh,
using other people's sound, but they're making $0 from it.
uh,
Now, some people just like getting views. or they might be selling something on the back end on the channel, but you're not gonna get paid for it for the most part unless you have somebody producing that music for you.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to hear, man. Is it makes a lot of sense. But I'm gonna miss you, my boy. I'm gonna miss you, man. Don't be
My
a stranger,
pleasure.
man. Slide in my DMs. No Diddy. No Diddy. All
Definitely.
right, man. All right, peace out, my boy.
My pleasure. All right, see, you can go ahead. Up, see, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, C, for this information. Let me turn this off. Sorry. Maybe come back to me while I get myself together.
Okay, okay. Cherie, you can go ahead next, and then I'll go to Anita, and then I'll come back to you, see. Go ahead, Cherie.
Can you hear me, Mr. Fry?
Perfectly.
Okay, I have a question, but all I want to say is that God sent you in my life when I saw your ad. I think it was on Instagram last month. I cannot wait to start working with you and your team. I'm looking forward to start working with you. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm going to do whatever it takes. If it's even to work overtime, I will do that. I just want to start, man. I mean, you're a blessing in my life. You're a blessing, and I glad the day that you're on to join your program. I'm looking forward to start working with you. I can't wait. I'm looking forward, Mr. Fire, and thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Likewise, I appreciate you.
Like I said, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to start working with you all. Thank
Likewise.
you.
Likewise, my pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna mispronounce your name. I'm gonna let you say it for me. My apology. I don't want to mispronounce it.
Aminata, sorry.
Aminata.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I just want to say thank you for all the information. It was indeed you really gave us the information, and I really appreciate it. I'm planning to take the second challenge just to make sure I, got all the uh, just to make. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, just to make sure I get all the information. My question is why faceless? Because before this class, trust me, I used to think that people that do faceless is because they're ugly, they don't want to be seen. When I look at you, you're not ugly, you're handsome. So why faceless? What's the difference between faceless and face YouTube?
Well, honestly, the main reason I got started is because I started a personal YouTube channel. I was actually making video. Now, I was very introverted, but when I was a kid, seeing people like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, when they were very young, making millions of dollars from YouTube by just making funny skits. So I just wanted to do video, just to get paid from it. So I'm like, okay, let me pull a camera. Maybe I can go viral myself and I can make money from it. And obviously, I came across people that were doing it faceless. And I'm like, okay, if I can make money, because I don't really enjoy being on camera. And what a lot of people don't realize with a lot of YouTubers is when you watch that perfect 10-minute video, there's a lot of part where they have to cut, they have to edit, and they have to rehearse what they have to say. Sometimes they don't even know what to make videos on. They run out of video ideas. They have to come up with random stuff. So with Face's channel, when I tested out, I was like, okay, so there's people making millions, exact same thing, but they don't have to show their face. They don't have to reveal your identity. There's no worry of people hating you or getting hate comments and things like that. Well, you're gonna get that with a Face's channel, but you don't really care because they're not really tailored towards you. So the idea of seeing that I could make money without having to have my personality out there, or even me making video, it was just like very compelling for me. Yes, I was very introverted, but I think it only came because I realized number one, I was able to go channel faster because it was faceless, because I was adaptable. If this topic work on YouTube, I don't have to, let's say if I have a travel channel and people are searching for, let's say, Thailand, a specific place is Thailand right now, it's very viral with vidIQ. I don't have to go to the destination to make a video about it. I can just have an editor make the video for me. So because it's more adaptable, you can make video on whatever you want to make a video on, you're able to grow the channel at a faster pace at the same time. And I mean, it's just making money with actually making video is just, I guess it's just very compelling for me.
I like the idea too, making
Yeah,
video without showing. I like the idea. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
my pleasure. All right. C, are you ready? Or do you need more time? You should be able to unmute. In the meantime, I'll take Tile. You can go ahead, Tile.
Hi, thank you for this awesome presentation. I actually have two questions. The first one is moving forward in the nearest future, how can we like reach out to you if we need any kind of you know other instruction or skill to manage? And then the second one is for the one-on-one program, do you have an idea of the amount that the financing company charges every month for the program?
So we have a couple partners, so it's really gonna depend. But on the call, I can walk you through it. If it doesn't book with me or book with Lavish or Brandon, you can let me know I spoke to you. They can always reach out to me. I can even hop on the calls at the same time. So it's gonna depend on the different partner that we have, basically. It really varies. Um, with the first question, honestly, I tell people you can reach out to me on Instagram. That's where I'm mostly active. If I don't respond, it might take me a couple of days to respond, but I tell people sometimes it does take me a while. But I most of the time they respond because I do get a lot of DM on Instagram, but Instagram will be the best one. I use Facebook, but I'm not really too active, but Instagram is my main platform. Awesome. And have anybody ever tell you look like Rick Ross?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Has anybody ever tell you look like Rick Ross?
Oh, no,
Oh, really? I'm the first.
no, thank you.
All right, see?
Okay, yeah, I finally got it together. Can you hear me?
Perfectly, I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you for your patience. I want to say thank you for spending this time with us. I really got a lot out of this course. I'm looking forward to possibly working with you in the future, but I'm going to start off with this with what I've learned in the course. And I was concerned about not having VIP status, but I did find a way to get the VIP background. So I'm sure that I'll be getting all the recordings and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
did you actually check on school to make sure you can view the VIP resources?
Did I what?
Do you have access to the VIP resource on school?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, awesome. All right, awesome.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. All right. Felicia, you're next.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for everything. You've been great. So I do have a question regarding the actual choosing the niche. I'm gonna go way back. So I know that you said that one of the ways is to go on YouTube and just go ahead and put in, whatever that niche is. So mine was like the one that I thought of was for people that are over 50 years old, like finding purpose, navigating life, transitions, retiring, empty nest, all that kind of stuff. So I guess it falls under the self-improvement area and motivation. So I went on to YouTube and I found very little. I mean, nothing, probably one, but not even, it didn't seem like they're making much like money off of it based on the information you gave me. So does that mean that that's not something I should go for?
Exactly.
Because you say that it has to be already be making, it has to be something like a I guess a proof concept or something, Proof of
Yeah, they have to
concept.
do proof of concept.
Okay. And then I did try like the men going into for men for self-improvement, and I found a lot more in that area. Um, but I guess it's okay being a woman, right? And doing something for men,
Oh yeah,
because it's not like I'm gonna be speaking
yeah.
about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
Okay.
I would even say this, there's people who run and my apology if I mispronounce it, there's people who run Islam channel
Hmm.
without being Islamic or even have read the Quran themselves. There's
Hmm.
people who run Christian channel that are not Christian or have no interest in Christianity. So the
Hmm.
good thing about Faces channel also, you don't have to be an expert within the space or even have interest. It could be just it's just there's a lot of money to be made in that space, and you can start a channel on there. You find a writer who is
Hmm.
within that space to actually write the content for you.
And besides the proof of concept, what was the one other thing that I needed to look at to see if like because I know you could go to Google and see if you know what's being searched. Is that
Mhm.
another way as well?
No, I don't
Like
use
what's trend?
Google
No?
because yeah, I don't use Google. So
Okay.
number one is I want to see if there's competitor, especially if you can find at least 2 to 3 channel. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And another thing I didn't really mention, but it also contributes a lot. If you can find recent channels that are performing, what that basically means is the channel started 3 months ago, or 2 months ago, or 4 months ago, very recently, and then they have already 10, 20, 100,000 subscribers, and they're getting over millions of views on a monthly basis. That's a good sign that YouTube is promoting a lot of new channel within that niche, which is also a case.
Okay.
Now, the third one is obviously evergreen. I always want to make sure the niche is evergreen, which means that it's something that will be around 5 years from now. It will still be relevant.
Hmm.
And the other one is it monetizable? So you can actually check because even for example, like the um who mentioned it earlier, for like those music channel,
Hmm.
there's a Chrome extension called YouTube Monetization Checker.
Hmm.
You can go to any channel, load it
Yeah.
up, you click on it, you click check the channel. It will check if it's monetized. Because sometime things might look good in the front end, the channel's getting
Yeah.
millions of views, but it's not monetized. Now
Yeah.
this one is actually monetized. They're actually making money from their channel. So I always want to make sure that all the channel I'm able to find within that niche, they're actually making money from it.
Okay. Okay. And is that like a plugin, the YouTube
Yeah,
monetization checker?
it's a free plugin. So you just type in
Okay.
checker on
Okay.
YouTube and it's gonna be on the Chrome store. Now
Yeah.
they have the site right here. You can also paste the link of a channel on this site, but I like the Chrome extension.
Hmm.
They just tie into my Chrome. I don't have to go into another website.
Okay.
So that is it right here. I'll just paste the link on the chat so you guys can have it.
All right. Well, I guess I gotta do some more research, figure out which niche to go into. All right. Well, you have definitely inspired me though. And I'm very motivated to get started. So I do want to thank you, okay?
I
And
appreciate it.
keep up the great work.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right.
All right, Joel, you're next.
Hi, Freud. I just want to thank you for this week. It's been great. And it's awfully hot. You're in LA, and so am I. So I've got no AC in my place. So that's been a challenge in and of itself. But anyways, I can't access my VIP. I paid for it prior to the course starting, and I had trouble with school initially. I'm wondering if someone can help me out with that.
Yeah, let me do that right now. And you have the same name on school, right?
Yes.
All right, so now it should be changed. So refresh,
Okay.
you should have access to it.
All right. Thank you.
Pleasure. All right, let's move on to the next. We have Brown.
Hey, how you doing, Freud?
Doing good. How do you say your first name?
What what letter are you seeing? Are you seeing R or D?
R.
Ricardo. Ricardo.
Ricardo. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Ricardo. Yeah. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, doing good.
I just want to thank you for all your knowledge and your everything you put together for this presentation for this week. Very professional and I really appreciate it. I learned a lot, so thank you for that. I
Pleasure.
got 2 questions. I don't know if you spoke about thumbnails. I don't remember hearing it, but how do you create a good thumbnail and also a good hook, like a good caption? That's that's one question, and I have another question after you answer that one.
Okay. With the thumbnail specifically, I tell people because I'll be quite honest. There's the saying that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. A lot of time I've seen some people that have what I consider a terrible thumbnail, but for them they thought it was a good thumbnail. And sometimes what I think is a good thumbnail doesn't really perform on YouTube because it's always the audience perspective. So what I tell people is whatever niche that you're in is you can test out different things. Your thumbnail designer can be creative, or if you're doing you can be creative. But I would see what are the common factor within all the competition channel within the niche to add the same factor. They might all use certain fonts, or they might all use text in the thumbnail. They might not use any text in their thumbnail. So for example, with the Christianity space, a lot of them, a lot of channel, for example, certain niche, you see a lot of they even emotionally, you see a lot of thumbnails, they evoke pain and fear and news that work pretty well. So now whenever you're doing a thumbnail, you can always make sure that it evoke fear because it tends to get more people to click on the thumbnail to get more views. So I always tell my thumbnail designer what I do is I pull the competitors together and I'll have him or her based on the one I think look the best, base the channel thumbnail on that channel. Now, for certain channel, they might have red as their brand color, and mine might be green or blue. So I just do minor changes, but not too many changes to it. With the hook, are you talking about title hook, or are you
Correct.
talking like on the title?
Yes.
So vidIQ AI, it's really good at recommending title based on whatever you feed it. But with title, I have two things. Number one part of the title had to be clickbait, and one part of the title had to be keyword. So let's say, for example, my video topic, what is your niche, for example?
Bible studies, and Bible studies right now.
Oh, okay. Let's say top daily affirmation for living a successful life. That's gonna be the title. Now, my title, I always want to make sure to have keyword that people are searching for. Daily affirmation is one alone. Daily affirmation is one that I know people are searching for, even affirmation. Now, living a successful life for me, it's not too clickbait. So I would say clickbait basically mean word or even just a short, not sentence, but a short phrase that will capture people's attention. And usually this is more opinionated. And that's why you see people put unbelievable or they're put all cap in their title. So instead of daily affirmation to become successful in life, daily affirmation to avoid self-sabotage. And the reason I just put avoid self-sabotage or to make it more simpler, because sometimes I always like to title my videos at a fifth grader level. There was a study that was done by YouTube. The average YouTube that average YouTube viewer, just user in general, and this isn't me saying that, it's a study, have an intelligent of a fifth grader. That's like
Okay.
putting the whole world together. So you want to make sure that even a fifth grader can read your title and actually say, oh, let me click on this, actually understand it. So daily affirmation, top 10 daily affirmation to avoid failing in life or something like that. So it kind of have that fear aspect where people want to avoid it or it speak to the audience in general. So just keyword and what a lot of people call clickbait. So a hook that call people out.
Okay. My second question will be a few days ago you posted uh, a program and I signed up for it and it just disappeared like next day. It's a YTA club. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
White Snake Club?
Yeah.
It's still there. We're doing some changes to it. You don't have access to it?
I tried to sign up for it and it just wouldn't work at all. So I spoke to I signed up for another program and I spoke to Brandon, I think, and he was telling me that that program is being worked on too. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't sign up. Did you sign up for it already or you just want to let you sign up for it?
repeat that question again.
Did you sign up for it already or just want to let you sign up for it?
When I it's join now, like I'm looking at the screen now, it says join now for and the price is listed. But when I
Yeah.
click on join now, it just goes to schools and it just froze. It just froze
Oh
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, we're not taking anybody yet. So you won't be able to join it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So would that something be advertised in the near future, or do you know, or you don't know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're working on releasing it either next month or late this month.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Definitely my pleasure.
All right.
All right, Joe. Did I call Joel?
You did.
Okay, okay, okay. Pat, you're next. And then I'm gonna take CB, and then after CB, I'm getting kicked out. And then we wrap up, and then I'll take the rest of the question on school. But go ahead, Pat.
Oh, all right. I was kind of curious about, is an LLC something that we really need to look into right now, or is that can scale in as we scale up?
So I tell people to only worry about creating that once you start making money. Because building an LLC, you can do that within just one day. Depending on the state, you can get the whole process done within 2 days. So the only reason I said to about it after you start making money is because a lot of people would put the structure of a business like LLC and things like that, but then they give up or then they just stop the process. So I'm somebody I like to see money first, and then you can obviously set up like the business structure of it.
Right. Like when you see money at first,
Yeah,
it's okay, but when you start seeing lots of money, then you should start looking at investing in it.
exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't pay the 200 or however much it costs, depending on your state, to create the LLC until they start making money. And naturally, with the government, your channel making even, I personally wouldn't create the LLC till my channel's making at least 2,000 a month. So if you're making 500 here and there, they won't really bother you about that. But until it's making 33,000, then you're gonna need an LLC for it.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, my pleasure. All right, CB, you can go ahead.
There we go. Hey, thank you again for the great presentation. Spectacular presentation. I've seen a lot, hours and hours, actually days or weeks, actually, I should say, of different YouTube clips and stuff, and you guys just put everything together. Really great, great presentation overall. But just a question though. I know that you quickly went over sharing access to your vidIQ and 11 Labs and other things with your workers. What do you share with them? Because I thought them being in the field that they would have their own 11 Labs, their own vidIQ and things like that. So I'm just wondering, what do you share and you create the separate email for as to what you're sharing with them?
vidIQ and 11 app, these are the only two one. Obviously, the
Oh,
channel,
okay.
you can share the backend access with the channel. But vidIQ, now only one person in the team needs access to vidIQ. That's gonna be the person that's gonna be uploading the video or optimizing the video. That's the only reason that they need vidIQ. And most likely I like to make that the writer, because the writer sometimes they might do research with video idea, because later down the line I usually get them to the video idea. So they're the only person that need access to vidIQ. And 11 Lab obviously is the voiceover that need access to it.
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of concerned. I was thinking, well, should I give them access to, because I purchased a lot of different add-ons, and I was just wondering, like, man, if I'm sharing out access, who should I share out certain access to and things like that. So I was kind of concerned about that.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
and
well,
these are the only, all the other tools like Canva and things like that that we've used throughout the challenge. Most of them are for free, beside for 11 Lab and vidIQ, because you're gonna need the pro version of them. But these one, if you want to go further, for example, let me give you this. There's a tool that I use that is called LastPass. Now, if you have one channel, I wouldn't really bother, but if you really don't want to give them password and username, you can use lastpass.com. It's free to use. Like what LastPass does, it give you the access to share any sort of login with any sort of online website without giving them the password. So now they can log into vidIQ, for example, or 11 Lab, for example. They can log into 11 Lab, but you don't have to give them the password. It's kind of like what YouTube does with the permissions, what LastPass does that. So you can use LastPass, but I started using it when I had like so many channels, you have so many people that you give access to 11 Lab. And when you have a lot of different editors, sometimes you find people here and there and you forgot to take them out. Or instead of just changing the whole password for every single person, I just use LastPass.
and the music, what do you do for that? Because I know that there's different sources. There's YouTube Music, there's other music on other sites. I mean, how do you pay for that also for them to
I don't.
access, or just let them put whatever I
So
expect them to pay? Or
I expect the editor to have a subscription, whether it's Audio Jungle, whether it's Artlist.io. There's a bunch of different royalty-free websites you can buy music from, but most editor have access to those website.
okay,
So that's why they're the one that's going to cover the image. Anything that has to do with editing, you don't have, because there's website where you have to pay to get the clips. So the
yeah,
editor should have access to all these tools. Usually a good editor would, so you don't have to pay for these. You only
okay,
cover stuff like vidIQ because that's outside of their skill set, or
mhm,
11 Lab. These are software that you have to cover. But anything else, if your editor is asking you to pay for a subscription so they can better edit your video, I personally don't do that.
okay,
That's their skill. I'm paying them that
mm,
recurring or that fee for that per video for them to actually do that. So they should have that.
okay. Yeah, because I threw up a video and then next you know I got flagged by YouTube. It said, "Hey, your video has copyrighted stuff, blah blah blah." And I asked him, "Hey, what's going on?" He said, "Oh, I got it from another site." So I gave him
So
a
if
freebie.
that's a red flag for me. Sometime there's certain site that people use. You have to There's still
Pay per
royalty free
channel.
music, but you have to put the license because on YouTube you can actually submit the license. So now YouTube
Yeah.
will take down the copyright that they have on the video. So sometimes you have to do that.
Cool.
But
Okay.
a lot of time I would ask my editor, are they familiar or do they have access to royalty free music just to make sure.
Perfect.
Because that's obviously one of the biggest. It's honestly a simple fix, but sometimes people have issue with that with copyright. And obviously, if you have copyright, you can't monetize the video or make money in the future with it.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Like I said, I got frozen, I got terminated. So I kept on studying. I was like, I'm gonna do this no matter what, even what YouTube says. And so I just been studying. I'm thinking, okay, I gotta make sure I don't have any more pitfalls. And but I definitely I'm ready to get back on track.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
very, very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. Sometimes it happened, but the fact that you continue, and I'm glad I was able to help with that.
Yep.
So,
Thank you.
but all right then, everybody. So this is gonna be the end of day 5. Now I'm gonna go do some final sweep in the school. So I'll answer a few of the questions in the school too at the same time. So for the people that have questions, what I would say right now, type it all out, paste it into the school, and I'm gonna respond to every single one of them. And Moni, I'll check your day 4 homework too that you also said at the same time. So I was gonna say we'll circle back tomorrow, but have a good one, everybody. And I want to give you guys also a big pat on the back. Like I was saying, thank you, but I want to say also a big thank you for yourself also for making it all the way from day 1 to day 5 in general. So I wish you guys all the best. And one thing that I would say also, implementing everything. If you took notes, you have all the information for the VIP people. I'm gonna upload day 4 and day 5 by later tonight too, the recording, and we'll email you the recording. I really believe implementing the right strategy consistently, especially when it comes to YouTube, you would get some sort of outcome with it. Now, whatever your goal is, whether it's to get to an extra 5,000, whether it's to replace your job, whether it's to add an additional stream of income, whatever that is, from day 1, like I said, you write it down, you write the purpose of it, and I promise you guys will get to it. So enjoy, guys. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of the rest of your September in general. And we're entering Q4. We're about to enter Q4 soon, which is, believe it or not, it's one of the highest month in YouTube, which have every RPM usually go high in Q4 because advertisers start spending more money on the platform in general every Q4, and especially we're doing the election too at the same time. So it's one of the best times to start a channel and to start seeing a more ad budget coming in throughout the platform in general. And guys, I wish you guys all the best and have a good one, everybody. Take care, guys. Have a good one, guys. Thank you, by the way, assistant.